Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Mo from Susan's family. Today, I'd like to introduce you to the Flower Pleasure Artistic Bouquet, a small bouquet of forget-me-nots. For this electronic tutorial, you can search for susud.com to view it. The bouquet consists of individual small bouquets and packaging. The making method for each small bouquet is the same. We have a separate video for explaining the packaging part. This video only explains the making method for a single small bouquet. The small bouquet is divided into the flower section and the leaves. First, we make each part separately, and then assemble them at the end. Let's start with the flower section. The flower section includes the flower fabric pieces and the calyx. After crocheting these parts, we will assemble them. The flower fabric pieces are crocheted in rounds starting with a magic ring. The stitch techniques used include chain stitches, single crochet, SC, slip stitch, SL street, double crochet, DC. Now, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Before we start crocheting, let's learn the basic posture for crocheting. To make it easier for everyone to see clearly, I will use thicker yarn for the demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, for the color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, let's start with an adjustable magic ring. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your left index finger. Pinch the overlapping part of the loops with your right thumb and index finger. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger and pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop between your left middle finger and thumb. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert it into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Continue with 1 chain stitch to secure. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. 1 chain stitch is completed. Pull tight. And the magic ring is now finished. Next, we'll work on the first round. Start with 1 chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet. This chain stitch does not count as a stitch. Then work the single crochets around the ring. The technique for a single crochet is insert into the large space in the magic ring. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. You will have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, and draw through both loops on your hook. 1 single crochet is now completed. At the top right of the single crochet, there is a V shape formed by 2 strands of yarn. This is the stitch of a single crochet. Next, work 2 chain stitches. 1 chain. 2 chains. After completing the chain stitches, continue working single crochets in the large space. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. The second single crochet is now completed. After completing the single crochet, work 2 more chain stitches. We consider 1 single crochet and 2 chain stitches as 1 pattern group. Continue repeating this pattern group all the way until the last pattern group is completed. Now I have completed the last pattern group. After that, close the magic ring. There will be 2 loops remaining. First, gently pull the starting tail of the yarn. You will notice 1 loop becomes movable. Tighten this movable loop. Leaving 1 loop remaining. Then directly tighten the yarn tail. This way the loop is secured. Next, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. Insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over, and pull through all loops at once. Slip stitch completed. The V-shaped loop formed by the slip stitch is on the top right. This does not count as a stitch. It needs to be tightened to avoid accidentally adding extra stitches later. Since the next round requires switching colors for crocheting, you need to break the yarn here. Secure with a chain stitch. This securing chain stitch also does not count as a stitch. Cut off the yarn. This completes the first round. You can leave the yarn tails for now. Move on to the second round. Take out the corresponding color yarn. After completing the chain stitches of the previous round, you will see several chain spaces. You can insert the hook into any chain space. Here, I insert the hook into the chain space on the right side of the yarn tail. First, make a slip knot with the yarn tail. Draw the yarn through. Adjust the loop. Continue by crocheting 2 more chain stitches. After completing the chain stitches, crochet 3 double crochets in the same stitch. The technique for double crochet is to yarn over. Then draw the yarn through. As you crochet, keep all the yarn tails above the hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. At this point, you should have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over again, and pull through the next 2 loops. 1 double crochet is now complete. Continue with the second one. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the stitch. And draw the yarn through. Pull through 2 loops one after another. The second double crochet is now complete. There's just one last one to go. We will finish it. Insert the hook into the same position again. The third double crochet is now complete. After completing the double crochet, make 2 chain stitches and work 1 slip stitch. Insert the hook into the same position. Pull through all loops at once. Note that this slip stitch should not be tightened. We start from the 2 chain stitches, and consider everything up to this slip stitch as 1 small petal. This completes 1 small petal. Continue to work the second small petal. Start with 1 loose slip stitch. Transition into the second hole. Then begin crocheting the petal. Make 2 chain stitches. Work 3 double crochets. Pay attention to weaving in the yarn tail as you go. Make 2 more chain stitches. Work 1 slip stitch. The second petal is now complete. Here, you can cut off the excess yarn tail. Repeat this process of working slip stitches and petals. Continue until you finish the last petal. I have now completed the last petal. Next, work 1 slip stitch in the chain space, where you joined the yarn to finish. This completes round 2. Finish with 1 chain stitch to secure. Tighten it. Cut off the yarn. Weave in the ends on the wrong side. This completes the demonstration of the flower motif. Next, let's work on the calyx. The calyx is also worked in rounds starting with a magic ring. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet technique. First, cast on with a magic ring. The method for casting on is the same as for the flower motif. Now the magic ring is ready. Chain 1 to begin. Then start working single crochets. One single crochet completed. Continue with 1 chain stitch. Then make 1 slip stitch. For this slip stitch, insert the hook under the 2 loops of the single crochet. Do not tighten this slip stitch. Slip stitch completed. From the single crochet to where we have worked so far. Consider this as one motif. Repeat this motif moving forward. Now let's work on the second one. Start with 1 single crochet. Then make 1 chain stitch. Continue by inserting the hook under the 2 loops of the single crochet and making 1 slip stitch. The second motif is now completed. Repeat this process all the way to the last motif. Now I have completed the last motif. Next, secure the loop. Join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. Pull this slip stitch tight. Secure with one chain stitch. Finally, leave about 40 cm of yarn tail, and cut the yarn. You can see that the texture on the right side is clear. The texture on the wrong side is blurry. We will hide the starting yarn tail on the wrong side. Then insert the hook into the center hole, and bring the reserved yarn tail to the right side. Up to this point, the calyx is completely done. Now that the calyx is completed, let's assemble the flower part. Take a piece of thin wire. Each time when assembling the flower part, the length of the thin wire does not need to be exactly the same. A length of about 25 centimeters is sufficient. This way, the assembly will look more aesthetically pleasing later on. Here, I have already cut a piece to the right length. Next, find the center of the flower piece. Thread the wire through. This secures the flower piece in place. Continue by attaching the calyx. Insert from the other end, where the yarn tail is left. With the right side of the calyx facing out. After threading it through, take out the alcohol glue. Secure the flower piece and the calyx together. Apply a little glue. Now that it's fixed, let's start working on the stem section. Apply some glue underneath the calyx. Start wrapping with the previously left yarn tail. The wrapping distance here is about 5 centimeters. You can also adjust this according to your preference. When you reach about the middle, apply a bit more glue to secure it. I have now wrapped to the corresponding length. Similarly, apply glue to the end. Trim the yarn tail. Pinch it tightly. And that completes one flower section. Everyone can complete the remaining flower sections in the same way. After finishing the flower parts, we will now make the leaves. We will start from a foundation chain and work around for the leaves. While crocheting, you need to incorporate thin wire. The new stitch used here is half double crochet. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Before crocheting, take a piece of thin wire. The length of the wire is specified in the chart. I have already cut it to size here. Set it aside for later use. Next, start with the beginning chain. For better visibility, I will demonstrate using a different color of thicker cotton yarn. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, let's start with the beginning chain. Take the end of the yarn around your little finger. Thread it through between the middle finger and index finger. Pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Position it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. With your left hand, use your thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten. Be mindful that the loop on the hook should not be too tight. This makes it convenient for subsequent crocheting. Now, start with a chain stitch. One chain stitch is completed. This braid represents one stitch. Continue to crochet chain stitches. Refer to the chart for the number of chain stitches needed here. Now I have completed the required number of starting chains. The starting chain is done. After completing, start with a turning chain stitch. Then find the second chain from the left. This V shape represents one stitch. 1, 2, which is right here. Pick up the top loop of the chain. Work a single crochet. Insert the hook into the stitch. Place the wire above the crochet hook. Below the yarn. Work a single crochet. This completes one single crochet stitch. The thin wire is now wrapped into the stitch. Leave a section of the thin wire on the right side unworked. We continue crocheting downwards. Pick up the top loop of the chain. Work a half double crochet. The technique for half double crochet is to yarn over. Insert the hook. Mindful to wrap the wire. Draw the yarn through. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops. This completes one half double crochet stitch. Next, work 8 double crochets correspondingly. Insert the hook into the adjacent position on the left side. Keep the wire above the crochet hook. Below the yarn. One double crochet is done. On this side, always pick up the top loop of the chain stitches, and make sure to wrap the wire each time. This won't be repeated in the following steps. Let's finish the remaining double crochets. After completing the double crochets, work 2 half double crochets correspondingly. I'll demonstrate the half double crochet technique again. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Draw through all loops. Half double crochet is complete. Continue to finish the remaining one. After completing 2 half double crochets, work 1 single crochet downwards. Let's complete it. Now we're at the last chain stitch. Similarly, pick up 1 loop and work 3 single crochets. And bend the thin wire at this end. Now we move to the other side. When crocheting this side, place the thin wire and the starting tail of the yarn together above the hook. Insert the hook into the adjacent chain stitch, pick up 2 loops, and work 1 single crochet. This is the same insertion point as the previous single crochet. Be mindful not to crochet into the insertion point of the top 3 single crochets. Continue in the adjacent position, and work 1 half double crochet. The stitch techniques on both sides of the petal are symmetrical. Let's turn it around and see. The single crochet here, and the half double crochet on the opposite side are also single crochets. Half double crochet. You can check later if you made any mistakes using this method. Continue by working 1 half double crochet, and the corresponding number of double crochets. After completing the corresponding number of double crochets, work 1 half double crochet. Then, in the first single crochet position, work 2 single crochets. Right here. Finally, join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Pull tight. Secure with a chain stitch. Cut the yarn. You can leave the yarn tail here as is. That concludes the method for making the leaves. Everyone, follow this method to crochet the remaining leaves. After completing the leaves, we will now assemble the small bouquet. A small bouquet consists of 3 leaves and 6 flower parts. Next, please watch as I demonstrate the specific assembly method. First, take out 6 flower parts and a thick wire. Pay attention, I will only demonstrate the method here. The colors are not for reference. Please follow your actual crocheting. Place the flowers and thick wire accordingly. The height of the flowers is not fixed. You can adjust it freely. Place the thick wire underneath the wrapped yarn. Apply glue on the wire. Take out the corresponding yarn. Leave a small yarn tail at the bottom. Then start wrapping. The wrapping method is almost the same as before. Pull tight while wrapping. After wrapping a few rounds, add 2 leaves. Continue wrapping. While wrapping, make sure to wrap all yarn tails and the wire inside. Apply glue after wrapping some distance. Wrap for about 2 centimeters and then add another leaf, continuing to wrap. You can also freely adjust the distance here. Everyone, follow this method, and keep wrapping downwards. Continue wrapping until you reach the desired length. Leave about 10 centimeters at the bottom unwrapped. Apply glue at the ending point. Cut the yarn. Pinch tight. Finally, you can tidy up the shape. Up to this point, a small bouquet is assembled. Follow the same method. After finishing the remaining small bouquets, up to this point, the explanation of this forget-me-not bouquet is complete. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.